Trash Pack was a collect-them-all style toy line that took the world by storm and made parents' wallets beg for mercy. Unfortunately, this legendary toy line left the spotlight as fast as it rose into it. It only had a shelf life of 3 years, but the impact left behind was evident ever since their disappearance in 2014. When Trash Pack died, they dropped a seed of hope that was watered by the many tears shed by Trash Pack fans all around the world. But little did we all know, the seed of hope would grow only 2 years later into what we know today as Grossery Gang. Today we're going to briefly dive into the history of Grossery Gang and why I personally think they thrived and died.
It's the Grossery Gang!
Shopping? It's gone right!
The gross gang that live in a store!
Chip packets are where they hide!
Grossery Gang was yet another collect-them-all style toy line that had a lot of similarities to Trash Pack. And that actually may have not been a coincidence. Moose Toys is a legendary toy company that has made many viral toy lines such as Trash Pack, Mighty Beans, Shopkins, and of course, Grossery Gang.
Open up, what will you find?
For $1.50 you can collect!
How many groceries can you get?
Yup, Grossery Gang was made by the same toy company as Trash Pack, so it should be no surprise that there's a shit ton of similarities. You could even say a lot of them were actually on purpose to call back to Trash Pack. In fact, there are Trash Pack characters that make appearances in later Grossery Gang products, but we'll get to that later. Cause first we gotta talk about Bingo Showdown. If you're still playing the same old boring version of Bingo, then you gotta wake up, because we're living in the same universe as Bingo Showdown. Bingo Showdown is a way more fun and immersive approach to the classic game loved by everyone across the world, especially your mother. Download Bingo Showdown from any app store that best works for you to immerse yourself into a competitive Western-themed game of bingo where you compete with real people around the world. So if you've already conquered your local bingo scene, it's now time to prove yourself globally. With tournaments open 24/7 and a competitive leveling system, you'll never find a dull moment playing Bingo Showdown. I have not won a game yet. I'm in freaking wood tier, guys. That's the worst tier you could be in. But don't get me wrong, guys. If you just want to crack open a nice casual game of Bingo Showdown while sitting on the couch sipping on a cold one, you are more than welcome to do so. You don't always have to tear into your competition. I personally think Bingo Showdown hits different when I'm enjoying my time in the good old outhouse. Again, download Bingo Showdown using the link in the description down below. And let's see if you're good enough to get into Diamond tier. Thank you so much, Bingo Showdown, for sponsoring this video. And now, let's get back to the action.
Horrid burger?
Or donut from the bin!
Happy matches with furry skin!
Grossery Gang came out the womb of Mother Moose in 2016. Arguably the best year in human history because... Now, I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. I didn't really grow up collecting Grossery Gang because by the time they were released into the world, I was 16. And I wasn't about to get caught playing with a freaking minifigure called Rough Toilet Paper at a time where I should be smashing some mean, dirty, grimy panini. And of course, building muscles the size of Shaq's foot. Shaq's foot. Despite that, I've taken time to dive into some Grossery Gang history and have come out with an appreciation for what they did for a generation of kids. Now guys, please don't call me a unk in the comment section. I'm really sensitive. No really, I can't even fart without exploding. Grossery Gang had a pretty successful 2-year run. They managed to release 5 mainline series, a few extra knickknacks, and even whole-ass cartoons. Which is big news for the unemployed. We have another anime to watch, boys and girls. Screw homework, screw responsibilities, screw my job, my girlfriend can kick rocks. I'm about to watch Grossery Gang anime. Ooh. Grossery Gang's 5-series run had a pretty interesting development. Each series usually came in many forms, including Series 1, which came in a bag of chips, a vending machine, a soda can, and a chocolate bar, just to name a few. The style of packaging for Grossery Gang was noticeably different from Trash Pack. More specifically, they would just outright show most of what you would get. Take the corny chips packaging for example. You could just straight up see 8 of the 10 monsters in the package, while the other 2 are hiding in the boxes as surprise monsters. I personally hate the fact that they reveal so many of the monsters. It absolutely ruins a lot of the mystique, which in my opinion is what makes buying and opening these toys a lot more fun. Without the mystique, I'm not as excited to see a moldy, disgusting piece of cheese. Not to mention, you're just pretty much forced to knowingly farm a bunch of the same duplicates in order to get a small chance of getting different monsters in the 2 mystery packages. Some of the packages still kept the mystique, which is great, like the chocolate bar and the mini corny chips. Additionally, this series had a box of cereal that came with a few exclusive color-changing monsters. Monsters, which was pretty cool. Series 2 had almost identical packaging to Series 1, with the only real difference being the addition of the Icky Pops box that came with exclusive frozen stiff monsters. And for those of you wondering, no, they weren't actually frozen, they just came in harder plastic. Series 3 of Grossery Gang was quite the nostalgia trip. They interestingly decided to bring back the trash cans and even reintroduced a few characters from the Trash Pack series such as Blowfly. What a fat piece of shit. Imagine the gunk that would ooze out of this thing when you smack it with your chancla. Series 3 also introduced action figures, which was honestly pretty cool to see. This is also where the toy line decided to become violent, with the theming from here on out revolving around clean monsters versus dirty monsters. Call me a traitor, but I'm going to side with the clean monsters. I can't stand next to Slob Fish for much longer. He stinks like shit. I personally believe this is where Grossery Gang peaked. The theming was awesome, the action figures were nifty, the anime was taken off, and LeBron's legacy was pristine. My life revolves around LeBron's legacy. If he loses a game, I lose a finger. Series 4 was themed around bugs, and for some reason was primarily packaged in crates and toilets. I could understand the crates because, you know, it's called Bug Strike as in war, and war has these crates taught to me by Call of Duty because of the care packages. But I don't necessarily associate bugs with toilets. If you have a lot of bugs in your freaking bathroom, then you are one sick freak. Series 4 also amped up the action figures and even introduced weapons for the minifigures. It was quite clear at this point that war was the underlying theming that was going to stick around for the series. I know it seems kind of weird to pair war themes with the toy line revolving around rotten food, but this whole thing spawned in because of the ongoing animated series that they were releasing alongside the toys. The animated Grossery Gang cartoon simplified as this: clean monsters versus dirty monsters, with the clean monsters wanting to take over the world by eradicating the dirty monsters and making the world clean again, while the dirty monsters just want to be left in peace, rotting away in their stinky, disgusting sewage. So yeah, the monsters are at war, hence the war theming. It's not really rocket science, pal. Come on, let's just move on. Come on. Series 5 marked the end of Grossery Gang, which was released in 2018. The theme was Time Wars and introduced a lot of futuristic looking monsters. And by futuristic, I just mean they're holding ray guns and look like cyborgs. There were also computer viruses, which were pretty interesting. Rule of thumb, if a website says Carol is 6 miles away and wants to snuggle with you, it's not real, buddy. Don't catch a computer virus, boys and girls. Also, the free V-Bucks thing is a total scam. I tried it and all I got was a virus and my ass beat by my mom. So, just saying, don't fall for that. After Series 5 ended in 2018, we were also met with the news about the entire toy line being discontinued. Unlike the previous Trash Pack series, it seemed like this series was discontinued due to the fading demand for it. By this point, I'd imagine anyone who was really into the Trash Pack toy line was already growing out of this style of toy, or just toys in general. And the new generation of kids were likely just aching for something different. Moose Toys themselves shifted away from this genre of toys and focused on other ventures, such as Fortnite action figures. In conclusion, Grossery Gang was a decently successful toy line that had a solid 2-year run. They managed to squeeze out 5 entire series, a few cartoons, and quite a few knickknacks in such a short period of time. But unfortunately for Moose Toys, kids and adults alike seem to have grown tired of the genre of toy and started leaving behind what was once a great toy line. Perhaps such a toy line will exist once again for modern generations and previous nostalgic generations to dabble in once again. But for now, may Grossery Gang rest in peace. Intermission alert! Intermission alert! Hello, unemployed and employed people. How you guys doing? As you can probably tell, this is a bit of a yap session, a little milking just because I'm almost at 8 minutes and I want that sweet, sweet revenue. But I'm gonna take this time to let you guys know that you guys have the power to whip me into making a video that you want. Right now, leave a comment down below telling me what you guys want me to briefly cover, and I will highly consider it. It could be other toy lines, it could be movies, video games, food, I don't care. YouTubers, like, bro, anything. Even freaking Garfield, okay? Leave a comment down below. Skip it, dib it.